Just when you think you're going to move on with your next step, you run into problems. Let me show you. Hi, I'm Tom Kovichak, and this is Tom's Trains and Things. This channel was created to help other modelers who are in need of guidance in pursuing their dream of building a model railroad. Well, you know, whenever you want to do something, there's always that little hiccup in the way. And I've had a lot of hiccups because of my move. And I got those two locomotives and I wanted to program them with JMRI. So I wanted to hook up my laptop. Well, I had to dig out my PR3 and the cables for the PR3 and the power source for the PR3 and all the other stuff that goes along with it. And so let me show you what I ended up with. And while I was doing that, I figured, well, as long as I'm doing this, I'm going to go on and do a second project too. So this is like two projects in one. And I'll show you what it is. Since I got those two locomotives, I needed something to program them with, and I wanted to do it with JMRI and my Digitrack. So I've been busy over here. I rearranged my bench a little bit and added a few things. As you can see right here, I put a little piece of fascia right there so I could mount my UP5, and I have a main and program switch. I'm working on a panel right there, which is this thing right here. It's going to have 5 buttons. It's going to be approximately that size. I'm using this Evergreen Scale Models. I think it's 40 thousandths black. And I already have it marked where I want it cut. I just have to get the square out and cut it so I could have that right there. That's the layout for the button, and I'm still working on the track diagram right there. I got, well, the first 3 turnouts, those are the ones up here that I already have installed. You can't see this anyway, but anyway, there it is right there. That's what it's going to look like. This Arduino right here, it has 3 on it right now. I have the 4th relay on there. I have the thing wired up. All I have to do is program it for the servo. Another relay is going to go up there for the other 3 turnouts. And I'll be doing it the same way with servos. So that's what I've been doing there. I rearranged my workbench a little bit so I could have my laptop on the right hand side. I used to have it way over there, and I mounted the Digitracks right there, and I'll show you what it looks like above that. But I salvaged this piece of wood right here that came off of my old layout. That's where I had my Digitracks mounted underneath, well, between Smedleyville and Leakin Creek. These brackets right here, these are little metal brackets, and they work pretty good. They come in handy. I'll be using these push buttons. These are the DF Robot push buttons that I have, and I've used I've showed these in my demonstrations for the servos, and as you can see, I have to offset them behind the control panel because these weren't really designed for a control panel or anything like that. This is more or less for prototyping the way they have it set up, because they have the plug on this side, all the components on the same side right there. See, the back side of it is completely empty. I wish they would have put the plug on the other side, but you just have to live with it. Here's another view of the Digitrax. I put a power deal up there so I could plug in my wall warts and stuff, and that is plugged in on the end of this right here. Since all of these are going to be wall warts and just the Digitrax on here, I mean it's not going to be overpowering this strip right here, because all I have other than that on here is my USB hub that I have up here. I have a TP-Link to 7-port with 2 charging ports. On the charging port, I put these LEDs on there. I picked these up. They were on sale at Lowe's. They're actually for the mount behind a TV. It's not very bright. I have this light on right now, but it's not bright enough for a work surface. I mean, I just wanted to see what it would look like. The programming track, let's talk about that. Well, here's my leads for the programming track right here. Since I'm going to be programming here on the workbench and not up here on the layout, I'm just going to make a portable one, and it's going to be something similar to this. This is my drop down that I took apart, and I'm going to install pretty soon. But I'll be able to put something, you know, be able to put the programming track down here. I'm going to get 2 little posts to come. I'm going to screw them underneath here so they'll be hanging down, and all I have to do is take alligator clips and hook it up so I could put up temporary power to the programming track. And that's all off of this little switch right here. It looks small, but it's actually 6 amps at 125 volts, so it's sufficient for any load with the Digitrax. Here's what it looks like on the bench with plenty of shrink tubing. And I used the silicone insulation wiring for my leads coming off. Here's what I got. And if you're asking where, it's been a while, but I probably got it on Amazon. But it's 16 red and black. High efficiency, super flexible silicone wire. Now here's what I'm working on right now. Okay, this is the runaround right here. Okay, this is going to be the industry, the icing platform over here. This is the only Atlas turnout that I have. I bought this when I was in Melbourne, and I just wanted to try it out. This one here is Walthers. This is just the opposite of that one right there. That's the left hand, this is the right hand. And I think this one right there, this one is a Pico. Yeah, this one's a Pico. So they're all curved turnouts. I like using curved turnouts because on a model railroad you have a lot of curves because you're limited with space, and this helps out with what you're doing. Here's a view of the fascia before I installed the switch and the back of it. And if you're wondering what those other loose wires are, those are the feeder wires for the 2 tracks that I have to solder in yet. Just about ready to program those 2 locomotives with JMRI, and I have a few other locomotives that I got before we moved that I didn't get to program at the old house. So I'll be busy programming those locomotives and working on the control panel in the next couple of days. So until the next time, we'll see you.